I've been piecing without pins for a while now because I am clumsy and pins are not my friend. I always end up poking and prodding myself, which is a no-no because you don't want to bleed on your fabric. And sometimes I drop them, I don't want to step on them. They're just a minefield. I try to use them as infrequently as possible. So over the years, I have accumulated a few tips and tricks I want to share with you to make sure that you are getting the most out of pinless piecing. So tip number 1 is to always prep your fabric with sizing or starch. You're going to try to eliminate stretch and basically make your fabric as static as possible. So more like paper, more manageable, more predictable, so everything ends up falling into place more reliably. When sewing, make sure that your needle finishes down in the fabric if possible. If you have a needle down, up and down function, that's really useful for this. It makes it a lot easier to stop and make corrections when you need to. I always press my seams strategically so that I can nest them really easily. So for this strip here, I've pressed all the seams up, this one down, this one up, and this one doesn't matter because it doesn't need to match up with anything. So when it comes time to sew these two pieces together, I can just flip them and take them to the machine like this, and I can just butt the seams up together, and basically I do it all by feel. I have an excellent success rate when I do this. As your pieces get longer and more complicated, your hands take on two very different specific roles. So one hand is going to be your pin, and one hand is going to be your guide. So this hand is going to move with the fabric, and this hand is going to guide the fabric. If you feel more comfortable swapping tasks between the hands, that's perfectly fine. I go through phases where they swap around, so it doesn't matter. So make sure that your needle is stopping down in the fabric as you go. This hand is going to hold the nested seams, and this hand, this one, is going to guide. So here we go. This is what it looks like. When I get to that intersection, I'm going to stop. And the next tip is to stop often and readjust as necessary. So you don't need to line it up and then just hope for the best till you get to the end. You can stop, your needle is down, it's holding your fabric, and you can readjust as you go. So I'm going to use this one as my pin. This one is guiding. When I get to that intersection, I stop, and then I can make sure that these corners are aligned, and then I can keep going. So there we go. Matched up very nicely. When piecing gets complicated and you can't rely on nesting your seams, that's where glue basting comes in. I recommend one of these precision tips and use it sparingly. You don't need to do a long line of glue. Little dots here and there are more than enough. Sewing long seams like this can be tricky sometimes because as you're sewing along, you can find that without pins, the top fabric, whatever's on top, starts to really stretch out towards the end, making it hard for the end points to meet up properly. So this is another opportunity to get some glue involved. If this was just one long strip, I would start at the top and work my way down, but because there's this piece in the middle that I want to match up to this part, I'm going to start by gluing this part first. I'm just going to put two tiny little dots within the seam allowance on either side of these seams that I want to nest. Then I will flip it over, match them up, and use my iron to heat set it. Usually just takes a second or two. As you can see, it's connected now. And now I will fold back one side. I'll put a few glue dots at each intersection here, lay the strip back down, heat press it, and do the same for the other side. If you have any pinless piecing tips that I didn't mention in this video, please leave them down in the comment section below so that we can spread this knowledge within the quilting community. Thanks for spending time with me today, quilters. If you want to support this channel and help me buy supplies and materials for future videos, please visit my Buy Me a Coffee page linked in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos. And I'll see you again real soon. Bye!